You managed to speak, I can't believe this really, you managed to speak to an American astronaut on board the International Space Station.
That's correct, yes, yeah.
Using, I'm assuming, using what's behind you there?
Yes, using this radio here, which is just a standard VHF, UHF 50-watt transceiver, nothing special about it. Quite basic equipment for amateur radio.
So, I mean, you say basic equipment. How did you make it work? How did you know that it might be possible? And then what happened? How did you manage to talk to him?
Well, basically, I had to go to a website called ariss.org, which lists when the astronauts are actually on a break and their rest periods. That's when they tend to get on the radio. And then I had to wait till that coincided with the pass over the UK and tie the two up and give it a go. And
you said what?
I just called the ISS. I said CQ NA1SS. This is 2E0SDR calling, and he came straight back to me saying 2E0SDR. Welcome aboard the International Space Station.
And so, what did you ask him?
Well, I asked him what the stars look like from up there, and he turned around and said, "Adrian, they're like diamonds in the sky because we're looking straight at them. We're not having to look through the atmosphere like you do from Earth." He said, everything's black with diamonds in the sky up here. He said, until we look down at Earth, he said, and that's just a blaze of colour. It's absolutely beautiful.
And did they talk to you about their work? I mean, was he surprised to hear from you, I should say, as well?
No, I think there were lots of others calling on that day, and I just managed to get in because it was quite what we call a pilot with everybody trying. And I waited my time until it had calmed down a little bit, and then I gave it a shot and got through. But I was just towards the end of the pass when the space station was going over, so we only got about 45 seconds, maybe 50 seconds. But,
I mean, you're sounding remarkably calm about it. I mean, were you quite shocked that you got through? It sounds amazing to me, who's someone who knows nothing about that sort of technology.
I wasn't calm at the time, I can assure you. I went into the house ecstatic like a little kid, I think the wife said. She said, you know, you were absolutely over the moon. But it was my third or fourth attempt before I actually managed to get it right.
And I think you have a wife and children. What happened when you went outside and said to them that you'd been talking to the International Space Station? Did they believe you?
Oh, yes, they totally believed me because they know that's what I tried to do. And the wife was pleased for me because she knew that I'd been trying, you know, several times before. And so, you know, I just went into the house and said, you ain't going to believe this, I cracked it.
So can you dine out on this story at the pub for the next few weeks?
No, I think we've calmed down a little bit now.
Oh, so I don't know where you go from that. Who would you like to speak to next? You can't get better than that, really.
Oh, I'd certainly give it a go again, but the next ambition is to relay some packet data through the International Space Station. They have a repeater up on the space station which receives packet radio, which is digital, and brings it back down to Earth. And what I'd like to do next is try and relay some data through the ISS and see what we can get down on Earth with it.
Horn by British scientists. They hope it'll be a key weapon in the fight against poaching.
You need to catch the poacher red-handed, and that's what we're setting out to do, and that's what we can do.
Dr. Paul O'Donoghue has worked in rhino conservation